Infinity Wars is a comic series that is coming out to tie into the Infinity War movie. It's going to be supposedly a self-contained long story arc explaining how they are going to get back the Infinity Stones and bring back characters like Logan and Ultron and Hank Pym and bring the legacy back to Marvel. Well, they came out with a Prelude that tells you who has the stones and who the big players in this series are going to be. Today, we're going to give you that Prelude. We're going to prep you for the next big Marvel event. In the wilds, somewhere in Canada, Logan sits drinking his beer, and he sniffs the air. He looks over at the passing wolves, telling them to run along. They don't want any part of what's about to happen. As he crushes the beer can in his hand, there's a schnick, and he stands up. He tells the Ultron drone surrounding him, "You look even worse than you smell, which is why I brought you here." One of the drones shouts, "Just give us the Infinity Stone and you won't have to die." And Logan then asks, "I do have one question. Before I start killing you, how many of these stupid rocks does Ultron have?" Another drone begins to fire and Logan jumps up, cutting the drone down. And he asks, "Are you listening, Ultron? How does it feel?" The telepath drone then begins to create a neural snare, trapping Logan and calling out to the others to quickly recover the stone. Logan tells the telepath, "You must be new to these parts, because you should have known that I'm the best at what I do, and what I do best is..." Suddenly there's a pop, and Logan disappears, telling him, "Teleport." Before the telepath has a chance to react, Logan appears behind him, telling him, "Boy, bamfing sure is fun," and he stabs into the drone. The two remaining drones then begin to retreat, but before they can go far, Logan leaps, stabbing his claws into their backs. He gets up and he sniffs the air again, stating, "You." Loki says, "Hello, Logan!" and he quickly swings a dagger, cutting into Logan's face. The cut starts to heal and Logan asks him, "What the hell?" And Loki tells him, "There are so many pretenders these days. I just had to be sure." Logan takes out one of his claws and he punches into Loki's chin, shoving his claws through his head. As his eye begins to pop out of his head, Logan lifts up his body, telling him, "Sorry, I just had to make sure you were you." One of the claws starts to bulge out of the eye that had popped out, and he shouts, "Ah, it's me!" And Logan tells him, "You know, I'm not convinced. Maybe after a few more hacks." As he eventually sets Loki down, Loki holds his head back together, bandaging it up, and he yells, No, I'm here for a parlay. Surely that is in your vocabulary." Loki continues bandaging his head, telling him, "For the lack of stabbing, I'm going to assume you're going to hear me out. In that case, I'll be blunt. That Infinity Stone that you're carrying, it's a burden, whereas I would be happy to take it." Logan begins to walk away laughing. "I'll pass. I may not trust myself, but I'm sure as hell not gonna trust the god of tricks." Loki yells, "Be reasonable, you intemperate woolly dwarf! Why can't you realize the hazard that the stone represents? They are dangerous cheats." Logan begins walking off, telling him, "It takes one to know one, but I do believe you, which is why this stone is staying in my pocket." Loki then yells out, asking, "What are you going to do when the other stone wielders come?" And Logan tells him, "Well, I got more pockets, bub." With that, there's another pop and Logan disappears. And Loki shouts, "Ah! You're as maddening as my brother!" However, all across the universe, the stone wielders that Loki is referring to are beginning to understand just how powerful these stones are. In Hell's Kitchen, Turk Barrett sits at the blackjack table holding the Mind Stone, already knowing the outcome of the cards. Carol Danvers, and for that matter, all of the other Captain Marvels across the multiverse each hold their reality stones, wondering what to do next. The Nova Corps has found themselves in possession of the Power Stone. However, it itself has changed from a once small gem to the size of a mountain. The Soul Stone is still missing, and as a part of the Guardian of the Galaxy, Gamora's soul locked inside, and she is hell-bent on freeing herself. Back on the planet of Sakaar, a planet that shouldn't even exist, a Skrull holds the Time Stone, plotting to take the remaining 5 stones. There's also Adam Warlock, someone who has a curious relationship to the Soul Stone, who's beginning to make his presence known. And then there's Thanos, having conquered the Chitauri with relative ease. Now he waits, waiting to claim what he once had. Magus holds the severed head of the Contemplator, telling him, "I do not fear Thanos. It is I who wields the Soul Gem. And just as I'm the one who cleaved your head from your shoulders, I will assemble the stones and rebuild the universe in my image." The Contemplator then asks, "Have you also considered that I helped you locate the Soul Gem? I've directed you truthfully to the stone, but I made sure that you were noticed by very greedy eyes." Magus shouts, "Let Thanos come! I've contemplated a different outcome for him." And then a shadow rises as Ultron punches through the back of Magus and out of his chest. Magus's body falls to the ground, and Ultron says, "Well, that was easy, and your twin Warlock will go down just as easily." Ultron kneels down to the Contemplator's head, telling him, "Hey, my name is Hank Pym. Some people call me Ultron." The Contemplator tells him that he would not seek to possess the Soul Stone if he was him. And Ultron laughs, telling him, "It doesn't really look like you have a way to prevent me." As Ultron kneels down, the Soul Gem shocks him, and the Contemplator says, "All may not be lost for you yet." Ultron swipes, taking the gem. And while Ultron shouts, "Of course not!" the Contemplator says, "I was merely speaking to the man, not the machine." Ultron releases a blast, destroying the Contemplator's head, and he laughs. "I will be unstoppable with this. With this, I can rewrite history!" But as Ultron holds the Soul Gem up inside, a very tiny Hank Pym looks around shouting, "No, no, 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 no!" And then a voice calls out to him, welcoming him to the Soul World. Hank turns back to see an old woman, and he asks, Who are you?" And the woman tells him that her name is Gamora, daughter of Thanos. "Welcome to your spiritual awakening, Hank Pym. You are trapped in here forever." There you have it, the conclusion to the Prelude. You know who is in there. You know who is going to be part of this, and thank you. We've got Logan back finally. I mean, I'm gonna miss old man Logan, and I kind of like all new Wolverine, but either way, we got him back. We got Ultron back. Why have they been wasting Ultron? We got Hank Pym back. It's all amazing. I'm excited for this. I'm really hoping that this series pays off. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about the Infinity War series. Now, they're claiming this won't be a big tie-in series. It'll be self-contained. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't want them to shut down all of Marvel to do this series like they've done before. So I just want to know your opinions on this whole situation. And don't forget, if you want to help support us through the turbulent times here at YouTube, you can do so by going to our Patreon. You'll get early access to our videos. We'll do movie nights with you once a month, and we also chat on a special room in our Discord. But if you can't even do that, that's fine. We just appreciate you watching the videos, and thank you guys for helping us cross 1.6 million subscribers. This army is strong.